So the side quest for another side quest, and the bigger thing that's linked to the season 5 TNG episode The Chase is still going on. Of course, I'm talking about Star Trek Discovery season 5 episode 3 Janelle. As always, I'm Al, this is the Geek in Review. Thanks for taking the time to choose to watch this video, I really appreciate it, and if you haven't done it already, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. So the ship and the crew are off to Trill and still on the hunt for Maul and Locke, who are sort of related to Book because she's the former Book's kid, etc, etc. I don't get that point of view either, but his planet was destroyed, so they need to give him something to have trauma with, I suppose, whatever. But the problem is, the crew know that what they need is on Trill, they just don't know where and don't know what it is exactly. They do manage to work out pretty quickly, though, and match one of the designs that they found on one of the pieces of the puzzle to a Trill spots, and it's a Trill that was alive at the same time as the Romulan scientist 800 years ago. And it was a joined Trill, so his symbiote is still alive as well. And Rayner, of course, being the new first officer, comes along for the ride, and to create a little bit of tension in the crew, because him and Michael are going to butt heads, but they don't in this episode. And I'm going to do a separate video on the whole Rayner Tilly stuff because I've got some thoughts on that, so again, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Because Michael wants Rayner to connect with the crew, and this is Star Trek Discovery writing at its worst. This is a semi-militaristic organisation the way that it's structured, so if someone doesn't like someone else, either a junior or a senior, it shouldn't really matter, and their feelings on the crew and the crew's feelings on them shouldn't matter. But anyway, let's get back to the episode. So, we're going to Trill, so it's an Adira Grey reunion. Remember Grey? Hardly, it's okay. And Jet Reno is back as well, and was it me, or did the whole little speech that she made to Stamments not make any sense? So the crew arrive at Trill and Discovery isn't welcome. The Trill don't want to help and pose a riddle because side quests and riddles, because why not?
Where does the fourth point?
They managed to solve it in about 2 seconds though, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. And they beam down to the planet and need to go through the whole Jantara. Now, you remember the Deep Space Nine episode, so I'm not going to explain that ceremony, but basically they can transfer past hosts' lives into other people and talk to them and walk about like it's the real thing. So every host for the last 800 years has been keeping this guy's secret and seemingly didn't do anything else with their life up until now, rather than sit in a cave and do nothing. Colbert gets taken over by Janelle, who's the host that they need to speak to, and I don't get why the current host can't just tell them the clue. They need this guy in order to do it. But there's a twist on a twist. Janelle's side quests their side quest, which if you ask me is pretty rude. We find out he was a Federation scientist who studied the progenitors and their technology, and they did actually find their technology in at least one of their colonies or their home world and lied about it and covered it up to Starfleet and the Federation. He doesn't give any specific details as to this, just as they hid it as they didn't want it used in the Dominion War, and apparently all the clues are a journey to something or whatever. Anyway, I don't know.
We're off on our quest, remember?
So they have to go off on Trill on a side quest and of course fight huge invisible sand beetles because yeah, I know, why not? And also why not, they can also shoot energy beams as well. I know. Anyway, and the test is how they handle this creature apparently, so yeah, that's it. It's just how one life form reacts with another one. So it's a good job that this huge deadly creature didn't kill any of them at all, I suppose. But back on Discovery, Stammets has learned that the Progenitor's tech is essentially a god mode. You can create planets, life, bring back the dead, all that stuff. So his big thing that was set up in the first episode is he wants to be remembered for something like this. And this is pretty much the way that the Stamets story arc is going to go for the rest of the season, if you ask me. But one person that I haven't mentioned yet is Saru, and he's starting his new job when Tarina's aide is worried about how their relationship will affect their roles, because he's essentially sleeping with the boss, and he wants to postpone their wedding, probably, I would imagine, to the last or the second last episode to have some sort of emotional impact, I guess. And Saru's learning to play politics as opposed to learning to be part of an organisational functional team, and I kind of hope that they do something with that, but at the same time I've got no hope whatsoever that they will. But the crew has the next clue to the next puzzle to the next side quest in the next episode, and they're on their way. Oh, and they make a DS9 reference when they talk about the Zen Cafe at the end. And that's pretty much Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 3. This is where the side questing is getting really deep, and this is what it's going to be throughout the entire season. I will bet a good amount of money on that. And if you disagree with me, show it by subscribing to this channel, you cowards. But yeah, again, not a huge fan of this episode, but the show does look great, I will say that for it. It's just what they're doing is all over the place, and they're just dropping nostalgia right, left and centre. I've got a few videos planned on the current state of Star Trek, given what's happened the last week or so with Lower Decks and the new movie getting announced. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. Are you enjoying Discovery Season 3? Have you lost interest, or are you even watching it at all? Let me know in the comments below, or you can follow me on Twitter at The Geeks Reviews. As always, if you made it this far, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And my name's Al. Thanks for watching.